Yo, what's going on, y'all? This is Marcus Rosa, aka Mazuma TV, back at y'all with some more boxing talk, man. I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful, positive, productive night. I hope you had a great day overall, man. I'm back at y'all with some more boxing talk, man. We're gonna be speaking about Deontay Wilder and Agit Kabayel possibly fighting January 10th in Germany and why I believe that is so. Then, of course, we're going to get into some open boxing topics, man. We can talk about whatever you want to talk about. Virgil Ortiz, Jerron Ennis, I had dropped a video about them earlier, but we could definitely talk about that. What's the holdup between Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez? We can speak about Brian Norman, Devin Haney, all of the upcoming fights, man. Fabio Wardley, Joseph Parker. I seen they did their face off as well, man. We're going to talk about a little bit of everything, man. And for real, I want to open up the platform for the people to come through and speak their opinions as well. But we'll see how it goes, because sometimes people just want to hear me talk. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to everybody that's in the comments thus far. I already see a few comments in the building. We got my boy JA05 in the building. Coffee plant. J Cash, the money man. What's going on, brother? Marlon 2631 in the building. Teach. What up? Agent 86. What up? What's going on? What's going on? How we feeling? My day was cool, bro. I can't complain. I'm exhausted, though. I ain't gonna lie. But like working and shit, bro, I'm starting to dislike that job to the point where it's starting to fuck with my mental. You know what I'm saying? So I need to find a way up out of there. You feel me? I really just want to go all in on boxing, but the way how iffy money is with boxing at times, bro, I feel like it's gonna be hard to maintain that, especially with the type of bills a nigga got. So I'm gonna figure something out. Yeah, I mean, but I really don't want to be, in this career that much longer. But then I'll say that, and then I end up, finding a reason to stick around, and I'll be in and out with it. You feel what I mean? So I'm trying to maneuver out of the system. You know what I mean? Just a lot going on. You feel me? It's a lot of bullshit going on, a lot of ups, a lot of downs. But we, that's some of it's our fault, some of it isn't. You feel what I mean? So we just gotta, go about life one step at a time. See, cool. What up, brother? How you doing? You know what I mean? What up? Wilder should not take that fight. I agree with you, brother. But we're going to talk about it. I put two and two together. So this isn't like no report that I came across or anything like that. So for real, this comes to fruition. If this ends up becoming a reality, y'all heard it here first. You feel what I'm saying? Because I ain't seen not a single soul talk about this at all. You know what I mean? But based off of what Wilder said recently and what they just announced for Kabayel over at Ring Magazine, it just seems like they on the same type of time. But we're going to talk about the J Cash shit. I hear that. I've been having good days at work for like a week straight. Then my first off day in a while today on the floor in the pit. Hey, man, it's been like that, bro. It's just a lot of crazy shit going on, bro. And to be real, it's just like I only decided to take this career field for my son when I first found out he was on the way. You know what I mean? I just needed an extra source of income. So I was like, fuck it. And then I just ended up staying in there for a while. I've pretty much been in this field for 3 years. I started before my son was born. You feel me? So it's coming up on probably like a total of 3 years that I've been doing this. And it's just like, I don't know. I just feel like I need more excitement in my workplace. Like I need something new to conquer. You feel me? They fuck with me over there, though, so they try and keep me around, but I don't know, bro. I just want to go all in with the shit that I actually enjoy, which is boxing, but it's difficult, man. It's very difficult. Yep. Yeah, I just feel like as people, like we just don't want to do the same shit every day. And I just be thinking about, man, I'm missing out on a whole lot of shit that's going on outside. You know what I mean? I just feel like I be stuck within them four walls for hours, bro. When I could be doing something that's, working is productive, of course, because you're getting compensated for it. But it's like, I don't know, bro. I've never been somebody who been too big on the bread. You feel me? Like money cool and all that, but I'm not one of them niggas where it's like, man, fuck everything, man. Just get your money, man. Fuck this person, fuck this. I ain't never really care about that shit, bro. money not like everything to me. Like I got it, you feel me? So it's like I don't know. I'd rather just spend that time with my son, you know what I mean, and shit like that. You feel me? So, like I said, we gonna figure it out. So let's actually get into it, man. You know, we 5 minutes in, we got 12 people in the building, man. I'm gonna go ahead and put this shit on subscriber only mode because, like I said, if you not subscribed to the channel, then ain't no use in you being in the comments. You feel what I mean? Ain't no point in you even participating in the conversation. You feel me? Subscriber only mode is what it's gonna be moving forward. You know what I mean? And like I said, we on the road to 4K. Well into the 3,200 mark, about to hit that 3,300 mark in due time. Shout out to the nation of the mob for making this possible. If y'all ain't seen my video that I put out earlier today, please go check it out, man. Speaking about Jerron, I'm just talking about pulling up to Texas to go see Virgil and Erickson Lubin fight, getting in the ring and calling them out. You know what I mean? And why I'm rooting for Virgil to win this fight. You know what I mean? So go check out my perspective on that. You feel what I mean? And hit the like button while you over there because the likes was shorter than leprechauns out there, motherfucker, man. So let's get into it, man. Deontay Wilder, Agit Kabayel, man. Deontay Wilder, you know, former WBC heavyweight champion of the world. You know what I mean? Was a top heavyweight at one point in time, but you know, in my honest opinion, I do think that after that trilogy with Tyson Fury, he was never really the same. He took a lot of punishment. I think he went through a lot of things psychologically as well, to the point where he was, you know, indulging in recreational drugs, just trying to find a way to, you know, get some peace within his life. You know what I'm saying? And what he said, he tried like toad or some shit like that. And, you know, he got to the point where, and, you know, Deontay Wilder also made a lot of money. So that's something that's, you know, that could be harmful to a fighter as well in terms of, you know, losing their drive, their motivation, their hunger. You know what I'm saying? So it was a multitude of things that I think really got to Deontay Wilder, and then he started to go on a decline as a result of that. You know what I'm saying? So that was Deontay Wilder. Agit Kabayel. He's one of the most hottest heavyweight contenders on the scene right now. One of the most dangerous heavyweights in the sport of boxing today, man. Very, very talented. Actually, one of my favorite heavyweights coming up right now, to be honest with you. I like most of the time. I like Agit Kabayel. Let me grab a tissue real quick because these allergies kill it. Woo-wee. I ain't even about to play with this shit. Hold up. It's the motherfucking cat. Ooh-wee. Woo-wee. Subs only keeps the trolls away. Facts. That's what happens when you got cats, y'all. Shit. They shed a little bit, everybody get the sneezing around this motherfucker. But anyways, let's speak about the situation. Like I said, Agit Kabayel, very, very good fighter. One of the most dangerous heavyweight contenders in the division, in the world, to be honest with you. Loved his performances against Julie Zhang. You know what I mean? He's been putting on some impressive performances, and I think a lot of people don't really want to go through it with that guy. You know what I mean? Just a very dangerous style, man. Body puncher, relentless. He's tough, man. He got dropped by Zhang, one of the biggest punches in the division. And, you know, he got up and proceeded to beat the dog shit out of Julie Zhang. And since then, he hasn't really been able to get a fight. And it's been, you know, it's been a long time since then. The last time he fought was back in February. And, you know, we currently in October. We at the end of October. So I think it's been exactly, and today's the 22nd. He fought on February 22nd. So it's been exactly 8 months since this man has stepped into the ring. And according to the rumors that's going on with Ring Magazine, well, it was actually announced. It's not a rumor. The Agit Kabayel will be making his return to the boxing ring to defend his WBC interim heavyweight belt in a homecoming fight on January 10th in Oberhausen. I don't know if I said that right, man. I hope I did. If not, my apologies. No disrespect to the people, to my German people out there. But he's going to be making his homecoming fight January 10th in Germany. That's lit because my birthday is actually on January 11th, the day before Tito Trinidad. You feel what I'm saying? Shout out to my boy Tito Trinidad. And a few other boxers. I think George Foreman's around that time. Joe Frazier. So, Bernard Hopkins is a little bit after that. It's a lot of great fighters that, were Capricorns. You feel me? Shout out to my Capricorn brothers out there. But it's lit. January 10th, he's looking to be coming back. And it says an opponent has yet to be named. So obviously it's nothing solidified as of right now. But, Kabayel, he's a top contender. And I think that he's at the point in his career where he can't necessarily get the Usyks or like the Joseph Parkers, like the top contenders, like Anthony Joshua. I don't think those guys want any type of trouble with him. So now he's probably like on this course where he wants to beat some guys that have notable names. And Deontay Wilder happens to be one of them. Now, people are asking, yo, Mark, why are you putting this out there? You know what I'm saying? Like, why? First of all, it's with a question mark, so I'm speculating. You know what I mean? I'm giving you an educated guess based off of what is going on in the boxing world. I'm hearing Wilder saying, I'm hearing this announcement with Kabayel. I'm putting it together. Now, it's clear that Agit Kabayel is a WBC interim heavyweight champion as of right now. Deontay Wilder is a former WBC heavyweight champion. So we're about to listen to what Deontay Wilder has to say right here in this interview that he had did with a big streamer by the name of Neon. And these were his words. These are not mine. So we're going to hear what Deontay Wilder got to say about this, and then we're going to put two and two together. Listen to the details that he didn't put out many details, but pay attention to the little details that he had put out there while answering this question.
No details to be given at this point, but it's definitely live. It's gonna happen. To give the contract already,
So you have a fight coming up or no?
I do have some coming up, and we're looking in January.
Okay.
I've signed the contract already. But
January, he signed the contract already. January, pay attention.
I can't. No details to be given at this point, but it's definitely live. It's gonna happen. I got a big year next year.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited about it, and I
watching.
hope everybody else to look forward and get excited about it too. All I can say is two-time. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Question. This is a question for me, not even the chat.
All right, so he put a little bit of details out there. He said he's fighting in January. The contract's already signed, so that means he's already agreed to the situation. And all he's going to say is 2 times. Now, Deontay Wilder has a history with the WBC. Kabayel has a WBC interim belt. You see what I'm saying? And it's clearly not Usyk. You know what I mean? Usyk's not coming back in January. You feel what I'm saying? So Wilder's not fighting for undisputed. You feel me? It's a likelihood that Usyk, he said he got 2 more years left or whatever the case is. He's retiring at 41, and he's actually going to be looking to face the winner of Fabio Worley and Joseph Parker. That's the rumors that's out here. I think I heard Mike Coppinger say that. You feel what I mean? But that's the direction that Usyk is looking at. And to be honest, if he fights Deontay Wilder, Usyk, and he beats Deontay Wilder, then, you know what I mean, what type of credit is he going to get for it, really? Because I think at this point in time, you know, he's not fighting the most dangerous version of Deontay Wilder, to be honest. He's fighting an over-the-hill Deontay Wilder. And I don't even think Usyk really wants to go after that for real. You know what I mean? At one point in time, that could have been a very, very special fight, but Wilder's not who he used to be. So there's really no point in actually wanting to see that fight happen. For all that, we can just watch, you know, Joseph Parker, who got something left in the tank. You feel what I'm saying? Or Fabio Worley if he upsets Joseph Parker. So that's what he's putting out there. He said the contracts, you know, the fight's going to be in January. Agit Kabayel is fighting in January. He said that he's going to be 2-time. Of course, he's referring to being a world champion, having a belt. You see what I'm saying? Agit Kabayel has a WBC interim. No other belt. He can't be talking about a full status title because all of the titles are currently in Alexander Usyk's hands right now. So he's not fighting Usyk in January. We know that already. Nobody's requesting that fight. Nobody's looking for that fight. I'm sure Usyk's not looking for that fight himself, right? Cool. So all fingers point to Agit Kabayel as of right now. You see what I mean? Now, does this mean that this is definite? No, I could be totally wrong, and this, you know what I mean? This could just be a me just jumping the gun, and that's okay. You know what I mean? That's okay. You know what I mean? We're not gonna be right about everything, but you know, you can't say that I just made this shit up out of nowhere. Just when you think about both sides and what they got going on, there's a likelihood that these guys might face each other. Yeah, Agent 86. This is alleged. You know what I mean? It's not definitive yet. It's not concrete. You know, Ring Magazine, they said that opponent has yet to be named, but you let Deontay Wilder tell it, you know, his contract signed. Like, he signed his end. I guess it's just a matter of who Kabayel or his team chooses to be his opponent. And let's not act like Deontay Wilder won't go overseas for an opportunity. I remember Deontay Wilder being a world champion and flying out to Russia to face Alexander Povetkin before he tested positive for PEDs. You feel what I mean? So if Deontay Wilder will do that, if he's willing to go to somebody's home country as a champion, I'm sure he'll go to somebody else's country to, you know, as a challenger. You know what I mean? I do trust Deontay Wilder's character. I do trust Deontay Wilder's character that he will, you know, and he's fought overseas before. I think he even fought in the UK early on in his career. So Wilder ain't got no problem traveling anywhere to fight anybody. You feel what I mean? That just based off of his history. So, you know, looks like that's the fight that's going to be lined up. If that's a fight that does happen, I'm going to be very nervous for Deontay Wilder in this fight. I just don't see that fight going well for him. You know what I mean? I'm somebody who is a big Bond Squad fan, bro. I watched him come up throughout the heavyweight division. I was very in awe of his knockout power. And when he got that opportunity against Bermane Stiverne, and he actually went 12 rounds and, you know, basically outboxed Bermane Stiverne. A lot of people don't talk about it, but he did. He went all 12 rounds with Bermane Stiverne and went on to have a crazy little run, man. 10 title defenses. That's not easy. That's not easy, especially in the heavyweight division. That's not easy. You feel what I'm saying? So, you know, it was fun to watch his rise. You know, he was a part of some memorable fights as well. You know, the knockouts that he had, the Dominic Brazil knockout was lit. The Johan Duhaupas fight was a war. The Eric Molina fight where he got rocked. You know what I'm saying? And he ended up stopping Eric Molina. I think they called him the drummer boy or whatever the case is. Who else? He had knocked out Artur Spielka. That was probably his ugliest knockout, to be honest with you. Bermane Stiverne too. That was a lit build up and a hell of a first round knockout. I really watched Deontay Wilder, bro. Like, I was a huge fan of him because I understood that he wasn't the most skilled guy, but they still couldn't figure out a way to beat him. Luis Ortiz twice, who was a highly skilled heavyweight contender at his peak. You feel what I'm saying? You know, the whole drama back and forth in the Fury trilogy. I watched Deontay Wilder the whole time, man. I just love what he brought to the sport. And even though he had a whole lot of haters, he was entertaining, bro. He was entertaining. You know, but when you're a Black American boxer, you know, you're held, the pedestal that you're held on is higher than everybody else's. So it's like you got to be damn near perfect in order to not face criticism, because if you're a puncher, they're going to say that you can't box. If you box, they say you can't punch. You know, if you got a little bit of everything, they're going to say you ain't fought nobody. They're going to say that you overrated. They're going to say you overhyped. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. You can't please them all. You know what I mean? And that doesn't only just go for boxing, that just goes in life. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you got good shit going on. You know what I mean? You could be doing great in 9 departments, but if you lacking in that one area, all they gonna talk about is that one area. Fuck the 9 things you do well. The one thing that you do wrong, people gonna point it out. They emphasize the negatives and suppress the positives. That's just how this shit go. especially as men, everybody in here know what the fuck I'm talking about. We done dealt with somebody, in our lives that, whispered the accomplishments and shouted the failures. You feel me? So it is what it is. I'm gonna be very nervous for Deontay Wilder though, man. Like at this current stage of his career, I was one of the people that begged Deontay Wilder to retire. Understanding that you can't tell somebody when to retire, but just based off of just me having the experience that I have as like a boxing coach, just being in the game, like I know when somebody has something left and when they have very little to give. And I think Deontay Wilder left a lot of fight in that Tyson Fury trilogy. Those that one Luis Ortiz fight, he did take a lot of punishment as well. And with Deontay Wilder being older, that certainly doesn't help neither. So, I was one of the people that, after the Julie Zhang fight, I didn't want Deontay Wilder to box no more. Once I saw what I saw in that Joseph Parker fight, I said, oh, because mind you, he fought Robert Helenius, but he knocked out Robert Helenius in 1 round. Like it was quick. He didn't, we never really got to saw how much of the decline he was on because he made quick work of Robert Helenius, but coming off of that layoff and going into a fight with Joseph Parker, he looked like a shell of himself. He did. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying that as somebody who loves Deontay Wilder, like, because I feel like a lot of people, like, they support Deontay Wilder, but, they kind of take a yes man approach where they be like, oh, man, like, I support Deontay Wilder. This is what he want. If he want to keep fighting, then we want to keep fighting. And it's like I understand that perspective in a sense, but it's like if you also love and care for Deontay Wilder, you'd be like, yo, man, like I really, if you fight, you know what I mean. I can't stop you, but I do feel like you should retire from the sport. You know what I mean. I do feel like you should step away. Boxing is very dangerous. It's wear and tear on the brain and the body. And, one fight could take your life. You know what I'm saying? Like there's multiple casualties throughout the boxing world, within a year's time. They say 13 people on average are unalive from the sport of boxing, and that might have went down, that might have went up. But regardless, that's something that does happen quite frequently in comparison to other sports who may not see a casualty at all. Boxing sees several all throughout the world. So, Deontay Wilder started boxing late. Started boxing to help his daughter who had, spina bifida. You know what I'm saying? This man was waiting tables at IHOP, bro. This man was driving trucks for Coca-Cola. Like he just stepped into a boxing gym one day, and within, a small amount of years, this man became an Olympian. You know what I mean? Turned pro, was fighting in fucking like bars, like clubs and shit. Was a part of club fights and built himself all the way to a WBC heavyweight champion of the world. Who does that? Now, I know a lot of the haters ain't gonna acknowledge that, but that's a hell of a fucking story. Like Wilder needs to have his own movie, bro. Like that's shit that's unheard of. As difficult as boxing is, for you to have that type of special talent, to be that gifted where you really don't have that much boxing ability, you still make it to the top of the boxing game and have like a reign there, that's very impressive. Regardless of whether the heavyweight division had lacked depth or not, the fact that you were able to start boxing later than most, when people don't start boxing when they 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, you feel what I'm saying? For you to start in your early 20s and surpass dudes that have been boxing since they was 5, 6, 7, 8, that's fucking impressive. I know people that have been boxing since they was a baby and couldn't get a world title. And Wilder did it with his right hand. Didn't have the best defense, didn't have the best jab, didn't have the best speed, didn't have the best IQ. But he had a fucking right hand. Everybody knew he had a right hand, and they still couldn't stop it. That's what makes it more impressive than anything. That's like a basketball player who that he gonna take it to the rack every time. Like he gonna drive right, he going right to the rack. And even though you know that he's gonna do that, you still can't stop it. That was Deontay Wilder. That was Deontay Wilder. You knew he had a right hand. You knew he was going to put the right hand right behind the jab, and they still couldn't stop it. He was still putting motherfuckers on highlight reels. Niggas doing whole training camps to stay away from one punch, and they still can't get away from it. Like that's what I find impressive about Deontay Wilder. I know he got a lot of detractors, a lot of critics and haters, whatever you want to call them. But we can't really disregard, the shit that Wilder did in his career. It was very impressive. Title defenses, memorable fights, the impact he had on the game. Whether you felt like it was negative or positive, he had an impact on the game. He had an era. He had an era. He did some historic shit, and to be real, that nigga's a Hall of Famer. I know niggas don't want to acknowledge it. But if we looking at what gets you into the Hall of Fame, impact, resume, fucking, accolades, like title, he got it. He got it. Does he have the most impressive resume? Not really, but he defended. If you're able to defend the title, if you're able to get double-digit title defenses as a heavyweight, that's impressive to me. Because only take one shot to pack a motherfucker in the heavyweight division. And while the resume could have been better if motherfuckers would have rumbled him and not avoided him. But anyways, I really hope that fight doesn't come together, man, because with this current version of Deontay Wilder, he not doing anything with Kabayel, man. Kabayel is on the rise. Wilder's on the decline, and as he gets older, it's getting worse, man. You see what I mean? Like, that dude, who was his name? Tyrell Herndon. He went in that last 3 minutes with Deontay Wilder in his prime. He'd have put him on a highlight reel, just like he did Bermain, Stavern, Dominic Brazil, motherfucking Archer Spilka. He just would have been a part of that equation. You know what I'm saying? But that dude went rounds with him when he had no business doing it. And even though Wilder got the stoppage, he still didn't look impressive. He didn't. So yeah, that's my overall take on that situation, man. I put 2 and 2 together. It seems like these guys are lining up to fight each other January 10th in Germany. If Wilder takes that fight, man, I'm gonna be very nervous for him. You know what I mean? I'm just hoping that he comes out healthy. You know what I mean? He doesn't take too much damage, and I just can't see him beating Kabayel. I can't. You know what I mean? And for the people that just getting in the building, man, shout out to the 21 people that's in the building. I'm gonna go ahead and rewind this. I'm gonna go ahead and rewind this for the people to hear.
They're asking a lot of. All right, I'm not gonna ask that. They're asking, would you box certain people? So you have a fight coming up or no?
I do have some coming up, and we're looking in January.
Okay.
I've signed the contract already, but I can't. No details to be given at this point, but it's definitely live. It's gonna happen. I got a big year next year. Okay. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited about it, and I hope everybody else to look forward and get excited about it too. All I can say is 2 time. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Question. This is a question.
January. 2 time. Agit Kabayel fighting January 10th. Currently the WBC interim champion. And all the other belts happen to be, all the major titles happen to be with Alexander Usyk, and Usyk is not fighting Deontay Wilder. I just don't see it happening. Now I do hear people saying, Pulev and shit like that. And that's definitely a possibility. You know what I mean? We don't really know. And that would definitely be the safer fight than Agit Kabayel. You know what I'm saying? I would rather see Wilder fight a 44-year-old Pulev than anybody else. But I don't know, man. Knowing Deontay Wilder and his heart and stuff like that, something just tells me he'll go in that direction. But even then, they saying Pulev about to fight Gaziev in Dubai December 12th, so it can't be him. So it's like now I'm even more confident that it's Kabayel. So it's like, what the fuck? Like, what's really going on? Like, what else am I supposed to think at this point? If he talking about a belt, if he talking about fighting in January, who else would it be? J.A. said Pulev already has a fight booked. Yeah, I just seen it. I pulled it up. It says Kubrat Pulev will defend his WBA regular heavyweight title against Murat Gassiev in Dubai on December 12th. Crazy. So it got to be Kabayel, in my opinion. You know, it's nothing definitive, nothing, announced yet. But who else could it be, chat? Y'all let me know. Who else could it be? If it's not Kabayel, who else would it be? J.A. says, why couldn't it be Joyce and Chisora? Those are the type of fights I like to see Wilder in. I don't want to see Wilder in any fights, to be real with you. I just want him to enjoy his money, you know what I mean, fall back with his family and just rest. You feel what I'm saying? Because, especially towards the I'm sorry, I got caught up in the comments. Let me restart that. It says, why couldn't it be Joyce and Chisora? These are the type of fights I like to see Wilder in. I actually don't want to see Wilder in any fights. I want him to take his money, enjoy his family and rest, because he's been through some tough fights in his career, and I don't really want that to catch up to him from a health standpoint. You see what I'm saying? So I really don't want him to box at all, but, Joyce and Chisora, I think Wilder, I heard him in prior interviews talk about how he wants to get one more shot at a world title and stuff like that. And I don't know if Joyce and Chisora is going to put him in that direction, but I know Kabayel, if he was somehow, some way able to beat Kabayel, then, that could really put him in a world title position. It can. If Wilder somehow, some way sparks Kabayel, hits him with the right hand of death, Kabayel don't get up, he becomes a WBC interim champ. Okay. Now he's knocking on the door of the WBC heavyweight champion of the world, Alexander Usyk. WBC, they bought their money. They might see some dollars between Wilder and Usyk. They might order the fight and put Usyk in a situation where he has to fight him or vacate his title. These things can happen. PYP Boxer, what up? He said, my man, how are you? The success of your channel is impressive. I'm trying to get there. I love the chingazo. Shout out to my Mexican people. He said hard work in Spanish. I feel your channel will get huge. Keep it up. I appreciate that, brother. You know what I mean? We still in the building stages. But like I said, once I'm able to get in this position that I'm really working hard to get to, the channel is definitely going to blow up, man. And, I'm going to tell y'all right now, once the channel blow up, we still going to be tapped in with the nation. You know what I mean? We still going to have our day ones in the chat. You know what I mean? Same wrench gang. I be seeing channels blow up and act like they forgot about the motherfuckers who helped them get there. You know what I mean? We still rocking with Ralph, J Cash, you know what I mean? Anonymous Southwest Dice, J805, my boy PYP Boxing, Big Soldier MX, everybody that contributes to the channel, man. My boy Oscar De La Pase, you feel me? Coffee Plant, of course, that's one of my favorite people. Marissa Alvarez, Smoochie, everybody, DOG 215. We ain't forgetting none of that. You already know. The nation is big. You feel what I'm saying? But I know everybody. I'm tapped in with everybody. Even outside of this YouTube shit, I'll be chopping it up with the people. You feel me? I'm telling you, ask anybody that really fuck with the channel. Like, I don't be just talking to niggas on YouTube. Like, we be really chopping it up outside of this shit. You feel me? My boy Southwest Dice in the building. He said, respect the Wilder for fighting or trying to fight the best. Yeah, I mean, that's what Wilder, that's the type time Wilder been on, and that was another reason why I became a fan of him, because I could see he really did everything he could to make these fights happen. I do think the politics, you know what I mean, these big wigs behind the scenes, hinder his chances of getting those huge, opportunities. In my opinion, I just think they didn't want to fuck their investment up. They didn't want to cash out their fighter against Wilder. Let's keep it real about Eddie Hearn, bro. He was making so much money with Anthony Joshua in the UK. And he didn't want to put him up against Wilder. He knew that was a very dangerous style to go up against. and you know he wasn't trying to fuck up. He wasn't trying to fuck up that bag. Yeah, definitely not Hollywood. Pro Up Dan. Pro Up Dan, definitely. I fuck with Pro Up Dan. You know what? Let me go ahead and do that. Let me go ahead and do that. I fuck with Pro Up Dan. I wish he would just retire. I mean, that's what I've been a huge advocate of. You feel what I'm saying? That's what I've been calling for since the Zhang fight. But low key, I was already saying how he looked like a shell of himself in the Joseph Parker fight. Then when I heard he was taking the Zhang fight after that, I was like, okay, that's a very dangerous fight. You feel what I'm saying? Like, what is we even doing? Because what a lot of people were saying was Deontay Wilder had the wrong game plan against Joseph Parker. But I see more than just a fucked up game plan. You know what I mean? I see somebody who balance wasn't correct. I see somebody who timing wasn't there. I see somebody who right hand ain't had the same, like he didn't have the same technique. Just everything looked like he looked like a shell of himself. So I said, I don't know if it was necessarily it could have been just a terrible game plan, but Wilder didn't look like he was in there with the same ferocity that he had in his prime or in his early days. He didn't have the same balance. He seemed like he was falling all over the place whenever he threw a shot. You know, his punches didn't really, the technique really wasn't there behind his punches where he fully extended his shots, rolling his shoulders. He just looked like somebody who just started boxing. So it was really weird to see, really weird to witness, to be honest with you. But once he got packed by Zhang, that confirmed everything I needed to know. I already knew that he was shot. Like, I knew he was a shell of himself. But the Zhang one was like a nail in the coffin for me, bro. That hurt to watch, to be honest with you, bro. People was making fun of him and shit like that. That's what they do, man. And it'd be our own people that do it. That's the fucked up part. Like when Canelo got his ass whooped by Crawford, I ain't really see a lot of Mexicans making fun of Canelo. You know what I'm saying? Like whenever like a UK fighter gets his ass whooped, like when Billy Joe Saunders got his eye socket broke by Canelo, I ain't really see people make fun of him. When Canelo packed Caleb Plant, I didn't really see people make fun of him. But it always happens to be when it's a black fighter that gets embarrassed, knocked out, beat up, whatever the case is. It's their own people that shits on them and makes fun of them. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit's not funny, bro. Like when Wilder got when he got beat up in that second fight with Fury and the third one, bro, there was memes for days. But what was crazy was I was seeing the main people that was laughing at him was his own people. That was the craziest shit to me. I'm like, bro, it's not even like I'm seeing motherfucking I'm seeing people from the UK commend Wilder. He's a warrior. He's a warrior. Big credit. Much credit to Deontay Wilder. He's a warrior. Like, they showing Wilder all this love, but his own people that look like him. Man, I told y'all Wilder wasn't nobody, man. He ain't got no chin, man. I told you, man, he ain't got no skills. He just got right hand. That's all. I'm like, man, y'all motherfuckers ain't got no shame. No shame. We'll never talk about anybody else like that but your own people. Shit is like mind-boggling to me. Teach, you slick with that one. I peep what you said, brother. I hear you. T says, so what did I miss? This Wilder Egypt is a rumor. No, it's not necessarily I guess you could call it a rumor, but I was the one who really, put it together. I didn't see nobody else talking about this. I seen Ring Magazine post that Agit Kabayel is making his homecoming fight in Germany January 10th, defending his WBC interim belt. Then I put up an interview from Wilder from a couple weeks ago with Neon where he said that, his fight, he already signed his contract. He's fighting in January, and it's going to be for a belt. He said, all I'm going to say is 2-time. So most likely he means like 2-time world champ, 2-time WBC heavyweight champ. You feel what I mean? So, and a lot of people were speculating that it was Pulev, but Pulev about to fight Gaziev in December out in Dubai. So it can't be him. So just based off of what, both sides are saying, it looks like they're gonna fight each other. And I think the only thing that stops that is if Kabayel chooses another opponent. R3 says, I think Wilder versus Andy Ruiz is a good fight. Man, Andy Ruiz could have got that fight, man. Deontay Wilder was looking for that fight, but he was asking for money that didn't even make sense. Because the thing with Andy Ruiz is he started to feel like his shit ain't stink after he defeated Anthony Joshua. Once he beat AJ, he felt like nobody could tell him shit. You see what I mean? AJ went back to the gym, was sharpening up his tools, getting ready, game planning the whole time. You know, Andy Ruiz out here buying chains and eating and fucking on hoes and, you know what I mean? Not worried about a motherfucking thing. You remember when for the rematch between AJ and Andy Ruiz weighed in with his shirt on. When I seen that, I was like, oh yeah. I say, oh yeah, Ruiz, he ain't trained. He ain't trained. You know what I mean? He got he came up so much money, man. The Mexicans was backing him. He was the first Mexican heavyweight champion of the world. That motherfucker Andy had that motherfucking country in a headlock when he beat AJ. He had the world at his feet when he beat AJ. And he completely he took that shit for granted immediately. You could tell Andy ain't never had no girlfriend. He ain't never had no hoes. You could tell he ain't never had no money because as soon as he got it, he ain't know what to do with it. You feel me? Ever since then, ever since that loss to AJ in the rematch, he's never been able to get his momentum back. Inactivity, not looking impressive in fights. Like old Chris Arreola was giving this nigga work. Old Luis Ortiz was giving this nigga work. Motherfucker ain't been around since then. Fighting Luis Ortiz on pay-per-views. It's like, what the fuck is Andy Ruiz doing over there, bro? Acting like he won fights, and then when Wilder and them trying to rumble him, he asking for crazy money. It's like, bro, you not this star that you claiming to be, bro. Your reign on the top was short like leprechauns, cuz. You ain't nobody. You ain't no star, bro. Jorito, the motherfucking, what's the Mexican sodas called? Joritos. They sponsored you for like 2 days and you think you the shit, nigga. Cut it out. Shout out to them Joritos, though. They good to the motherfucker. Jorito sponsored Ruiz for like 3 days. Motherfucker thought he was up. I'm like, oh my God. Yo, Arreola was really giving him gas, bro. I'm like, what? J Cash said Mexicans always get plus 10 on their skill attributes when they fight a Brit. That pressure from the Mexicans be breaking them UK dudes, bro. Oh, so I'm saying Jorito's wrong. Hache, yeah, Jay is Hache, some shit like that. Man, I don't know. It is what it is. Yeah, Arreola, I think he hit him with a right hand and dropped Andy and shit. I remember that. Shout out to the boy Sean Rancher. He said that would be crazy if Wilder knocks Agit out. Man, that's fucking like that's so like far-fetched at this point. Unless Wilder just turns back the clock somehow. That's like, I'm not saying it's impossible for Wilder to drop Agit, but like the Wilder that we've been seeing lately, I don't know, man. Agit might really do a number on Wilder. I really don't want to see that, bro. I don't. But it's like, can you be mad at Agit if he take the fight? Agit a young, like up and coming dude who looking to make a name for himself. And sometimes you gotta punch on these old niggas to get a name for yourself. Because these old niggas don't know when to leave. Wilder's an old nigga in this situation. Yes, he is. Sometimes you gotta make a name off of old head just to, get your name clicking around these streets. That's just what it is. I seen William Jobby do it to Roberto Duran. I seen Hector Camacho do it with Sugar Ray Leonard. I seen Danny do it with Eric Morales. Like, these niggas get packed. Old niggas get packed every day, B. And shit, Rolly might do that shit to Pacquiao if they rumble. You know what I mean? J. Cash said Wilder be gun shy. I don't know what would change mentally for that to happen. I think he's definitely gun shy. Costa Zoo did it to Chavez, correct. These niggas get packed. Old niggas get packed up all the time throughout history. You know what I'm saying? Like Larry Holmes did it to, I guess you could say, to Ali. Who do I think will win between Edgar Berlanga and David Morrell, R3? Are you serious? If it's 168 Morrell, he's packing Berlanga with the quickness. He might put Berlanga to sleep. Like, you know how, like, he was getting rocked by Hamza and, you know, falling, but just kept getting up. I don't think he gets up if Morrell hits him. I think Morrell hit 68. Morrell was, I don't know, bro. Like at 75, I think Morrell rushed his move up. I ain't gonna lie. I think that 168 Morrell was more of a killer than 175 Morrell. Now, mind you, you're going up against bigger guys who can take better shots. You know what I'm saying? The bigger these guys are, the better they could take a punch, right? Right. So, yeah, maybe Morrell powers. You know, he was hurting Benavidez, but Benavidez also came up from 68. Katiev, he was hurting Katiev, but every time Katiev hurt, every time he hit Morrell clean, it fucked with Morrell. But Morrell at 68 against Berlanga, he's putting Berlanga to sleep. Like, I think pull out the oxygen mask type shit. That's just my opinion. Berlanga ain't shit, bro. No disrespect, but it's like he not. I just feel like Berlanga name out there because he's popular. It ain't because he did anything in boxing. I'm still waiting for somebody to tell me who he beat that was credible. That was a top guy. Wasn't it weird how they let Katiev fight juiced up? Well, he had tested, and it was so weird. They said that he had tested positive like a year before in a different fight. He had tested positive, and they was banning him. But I don't know where they exactly banned him at because they still let him fight. Did they just ban him in that specific place where he tests positive? Because I feel like if you test positive anywhere, if a commission suspends you, you shouldn't be able to. But Pete, Conor Benn was suspended out in the UK, but he was coming over to the US to fight. He was sneaking over to the US to rumble, like he was fighting in Florida and shit like that. So I guess you could be banned somewhere and still be allowed to fight in other places. I don't really fuck with that, to be honest, especially for PED users. I feel like once you test positive, there needs to be an investigation that needs to be done to determine whether it was, a false positive. Whatever. There needs to be a worldwide ban on your ability to box until that's taken care of. Do I think he hit his ceiling? Who we talking about? Berlanga? I feel like Berlanga, I'm not gonna say he hit his ceiling. I just feel like he's nowhere near the ceiling. You feel what I mean? I don't think he took the steps necessary to reach a ceiling. I think that he's very underdeveloped. For fighting guys like Hamza Shiraz and Canelo Alvarez, very, very underdeveloped. He missed a lot of steps. Like you knocked out, you beat those tomato cans. All right, cool. And I don't even like to call niggas tomato cans, but like the unnotable guys, like you packed them up. All right, cool. But you didn't go through the other steps, man. And I talked about this before. Like my boy Rouse said, those 15 first round KOs was the worst thing for Berlanga because he didn't learn shit. Like I said, and I bring up this analogy every time I talk about Berlanga. It's like you playing 2K on rookie mode. It's so easy to score in them games, that you don't really know how to deal with that you don't really know how to play 2K if you put it on Hall of Fame because you're not used to resistance. And on Hall of Fame, you got to earn every bucket you get. So it's like Edgar Berlanga been playing boxing on rookie mode. Never went through moderate, never went through the hard level. He didn't go through those other steps. Like, he didn't face those tough journeymen he faced like Angulo. You know what I mean? Like, he fought like them type guys. But then, like, where's the former world champions at? You know what I'm saying? Like, who is Berlanga is Ryan Garcia without the PEDs. They have talent, haven't developed it. I see what you're saying. And they're both delusional. So that's actually a great example because they lose and then they always got an excuse for why they lose instead of just saying, he was the better man. They always got like Berlanga. I didn't hear him say it directly, but him and his team has been alluding to Hamza Shiraz using illegal raps as if you Kodo or some shit. Like, no, that's not what happened. Them niggas signed off on them raps. Them Jones is legit, nigga. And your team watched them put on the raps. So if you're gonna be mad at anybody, be mad at your own team because they observed him rap his hands, and they allowed him to fight with those raps. The same raps that push you on your ass and stops you in your own city. So like, fuck is we even talking about? But yeah, like he didn't fight like those rugged, former world champs that they're not at the elite level no more, but you can still learn something from him. You know what I mean? Like, you ain't faced those other top contenders to really solidify your spot as a, number one, contender for a belt. Like, you ain't do none of that. You fought nobodies and then just jumped straight to the big leagues. Like, nigga, that's like a high school basketball player. Like, you know how like Kobe went from high school to the league? Nowadays, you can't really do that. You got to do at least 1 year of college, from what I understand. Unless that rule changed, I don't know. This nigga just skipped college. This nigga played ball in like a Division C league. Then skip college, went right into the league, and now you playing these motherfuckers that played in them top colleges, played in them top high schools, was ranked in the nation when they was babies. Like, you don't know what you're doing, bro. You're not prepared. You're not prepared, bro. Oh, you ain't even got to go to school. You don't even got to go to college no more for the NBA. That's what's up. I don't think that should have ever been a thing. But post-grad play overseas. Okay, that's good to know. But I remember at one point in time you had to play. Back when I was watching basketball, you needed to be in college for at least 1 year type shit. But you get what I mean. We're not really talking about basketball. But yeah, Berlanga, yeah, he missed a lot of steps. It's not that he's reached his ceiling, it's that he never put in the work to see exactly where his ceiling was. UG said, I was thinking about David Benavidez fighting Wilder just earlier. That's random as shit. I never heard those two guys' names be mentioned in the same sentence before. For what I could find, it sure looks like the rumor is Wilder's going to be Anthony Joshua's comeback fight. Is he really? They were saying that he was going to come back in December, though. They say there's a 50-50 chance that Joshua returns in December, and Wilder's talking about he signed a contract for January, so it don't line up. What lines up the most out of everything that we know is Agit Kabayel. As fucked up as much as I don't want that to happen, it's based off of what everybody's saying out there, based off of what's in the boxing universe at this present moment. It's looking like Agit and Wilder are going to be lined up to face each other in January. That's what it looked like. And for those of y'all who just coming in the building, I already played the videos. I'm not going to play them again. But Ring Magazine just announced that Agit Kabayel will be making his homecoming fight in Germany January 10th, defending his WBC interim title. You know what I'm saying? Deontay Wilder did an interview with Neon, who's like a popular streamer or whatever, and he says that his contract's already signed. He's going to be fighting in January, and the only thing he's going to say is two-time world champion. So that's what it's looking like. Nick J, that's what it's looking like. You know what I'm saying? But this ain't the first fight that Deontay Wilder has taken since he's been on the decline that I disapproved of. I didn't approve of that Julie Zhang fight. I didn't. I knew what was going to happen. Just based off of how the way he looked in the Joseph Parker fight. I didn't want to see that shit go down. I'm just happy that, outside of the knockout that, Wilder didn't go through anything too crazy or brutal. You know what I'm saying? But it looks like they're lined up to face each other. Why is Wilder talking about being two-time? Two-time what? Two-time WBC heavyweight champion of the world. Agit Kabayel got the WBC in the room. He said he fighting in January. Agit Kabayel is back January 10th, a day before my birthday. Like, is there another heavyweight title fight going on in January that we don't know about? Possibly. But as of right now, it's looking like Kabayel's Wilder opponent. But that may change if Kabayel chooses another opponent, because typically what they do is they'll, send offers to multiple fighters. They'll see who agrees, and then from there they'll pick who they want to pick. You know what I mean? So it's a possibility they might just pick somebody else over Wilder. But the current stage of Kabayel's career that he's in right now, he's looking to make a name for himself. And how do you do that? By beating names that people know of. So, yeah, Deontay Wilder's not at his peak. Yeah, Deontay Wilder's not a world champion, but you know who he is. Kabayel, you might not know who he is, but if he packed Wilder, then you'll remember who he is. A lot of these fights ain't really especially, when you at that contender stage, it ain't really about necessarily beating the best guys all the time. Sometimes coming up off of another nigga name. Some people do it outside of the ring by attaching their names to other fighters. Some people do it by beating up washed up fucking champions, like what Floyd Schofield doing right now with JoJo Diaz. Whenever it was time for Kid Austin to fight somebody, credible like Shakur, pull out. He's supposed to fight H2O, pull it out. I think he was even supposed to fight Lucas Body. I don't know what happened with that. But he over there fighting Tevin Farmer, who had 2 losses in a row coming into the ring with him. JoJo Diaz, who done lost to everybody and their mom since this fall off. Like, Floyd Schofield and them know that they could get called for a world title opportunity at any moment. So you know what they gonna do? They gonna beat up on these guys that they know they could beat up. Who somewhat got a name, former world champions, but they definitely washed. You know what I mean? They gonna build their resume off of their names in the meantime until they get called for that title shot. They ain't about to take no big risk when they about to be, called as a mandatory for that belt. They not gonna do that. They not. And when they was locked in with that Shakur fight, they was like, man, why would we just go for this fight when we could just go down the easier route and go the WBA route? We know Tank ain't not going to fight us. He said he going to retire soon. So maybe when he vacate his title, we could fight for, the vacant belt, the vacant WBA title at lightweight. That's probably how they was looking at it. We don't have to go down this WBC route. Let's go this WBA route instead. Auntie Sco ain't stupid. He know how to move. You feel me? Shout out to everybody hitting the likes in the building. We got 20 likes with 23 people. I appreciate that very much, y'all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see where we at. Said Eddie talking about Joshua fighting in Ghana. The fuck? For what? Ain't AJ from Nigeria? Like my dad's side, ain't they from Nigeria? Why he don't fight in Nigeria instead? Ghana putting the bag up. You gonna fight Bacoli over there? What you doing? You gonna fight FA? Who you gonna fight? You fighting in Africa, you better fight an African. Go fight Bacoli. That'd be a good fight. Bacoli, he got a little bit of money, so you probably could catch him slipping right now. That's one thing about AJ. He got to a stupid bag. He ain't let the money get to him. He stood training. He stood hungry. He stood determined. Bacoli got a couple dollars, and this motherfucker got Gucci down to the socks. Motherfucker forgot what Hanes and Fruit of the Loom was. Motherfucker just jumped right into the Gucci. If I had to guess, if he fights Bacoli coming off of a knockout loss, that'd be some crazy shit. FA would be a safer fight, even though he could still get caught because FA got a big right hand. But if Bacoli's locked in, especially if you give him a certain amount of time to prepare, Bacoli could be very dangerous. I be giving him a lot of shit, but Bacoli being locked in, focused, and actually being cool, controlling his weight and shit like that, Bacoli could beat just about anybody in the division, bro. He's sneaky. He punch hard. He let his hands go. Like, Bacoli could really be a serious issue. If he fights Bacoli coming off of the knockout loss of Dubois, that's some gangster shit. That's some gangster shit. Man, Ajagba and AJ will be a good fight in Nigeria. They both Nigerian. $200 square feet of material to make Bacoli's XXL Gucci shirt. Yeah. Them Africans, they be the ones, especially, I don't know about anywhere else, but in Philly, them Africans be the ones that be selling like the fake polo. You know what I mean? Selling the fake Gucci and Prada and all that shit. Them Africans love selling that fake shit. Bacoli probably got all fake shit on. He probably don't even know. Yeah, man. I mean, if the Ghanaians, the motherfuckers from Ghana get the fight, man, salute to them. That'd be a dope little event for their country. But, like, why Ghana? Why Ghana when, AJ ain't even from there? You know what I mean? I would like to see that shit in Nigeria. Take that shit. If y'all able to get it in Nigeria, get it in Nigeria. Fight FA. Nigeria versus Nigeria. That'd be fire. How far is Ghana from Nigeria? Let me see. $30 hours away. Shit, that's a hike. That's a nice little. That's a flight for real. But it's only an hour away if you fly. Oh, it says 3 hours and 30. I don't know. I seen an hour. I don't know. Whatever. He said, Mazuma, you Nigeria. I thought you Cuban. We got heavy Nigerian ancestry on my father's side. So, yeah, we Nigerian, brother. My father's definitely Nigerian. Yoruba. Yep. We come from the same tribe that our pro fighter Oluwafemi's from. J805 says, if Norman were to knock out Haney, would that be the end for Haney as a top level fighter? I don't know. You know what I mean? It could be. It depends on how, Haney approaches it after that. I do think that if Haney were to get knocked out for Brian Norman, he would have to fall back, and build him, take a few steps back and, work his way back up to the top. Don't get immediately back in with another elite level guy. Like if you coming off of a tough fight with Ryan Garcia, I'm not gonna say a loss because he didn't lose to Ryan Garcia. He was a drug cheat. But if you're coming off of a fight filled with punishment against Ryan Garcia, you know what I mean? You take a Jose Ramirez fight where you can make a case that you played it safe, then you go and you get knocked out by Brian Norman. It's like, all right, there's some things that you need to sit back and reflect on, you know what I mean, work on, to be real. And you're gonna have to, you know what I mean, you're gonna have to take it down a couple notches. And if you're planning on getting back to the elite level, you gotta take a few steps back and build your way back up to the top with lesser opponents. And once you start to build that confidence, because look, man, like, Miguel Cotto got knocked out by Antonio Margarito, right? The first loss. Then he came back, got a couple wins, then he got stopped by Pacquiao. You know what I mean? Then he came back and he lost to Floyd Mayweather. You know what I mean? But Miguel Cotto was still able to find a way to rejuvenate his career or do some historical shit. And after taking those losses, Miguel Cotto ended up winning world titles at 54 and 160. You know what I'm saying? I think like the only male in Puerto Rico boxing to become a 4-division champion. Amanda Serrano is a 7-division champion, but in terms of men, Puerto Rico boxers, you know what I mean? Miguel Cotto, he won titles from 140 to 160. So I wouldn't necessarily say that it'd be the end of Haney as a top-level fighter, because look at what other fighters done after they've gotten knocked out. You see what I'm saying? Like, plenty of fighters got knocked out and been able to bounce back. So I don't think it could be. It all depends on Devin Haney's resiliency. You feel what I mean? But I'm under the impression that he defeats Brian Norman. I think he outpoints him. I think he outpoints Brian Norman. But Brian Norman do look fast. He do look sharp. I was watching him hit the pads earlier. He do look sharp. His punches look fast. He looks athletic. So this is gonna be a good fight, man. It's gonna be a really good fight. And this is a fight where Dev don't really got a reach advantage neither. So it's gonna be very interesting to see how Devin approaches this fight. But Devin has very good hand speed. And based off of what we've seen in the past, Brian Norman gets hit with right hands, bro. Who's Puerto Rican, apparently? Who you talking about? Who's Puerto Rican? Dev, Brian Norman, neither one of them Puerto Rican. Who you talking about? We already know what you is based off your last name, Matthew. We already know what you is. Oh, he talking about me. Well, we know what you, if that's the case, motherfucker, we know what you is. You lo mein eating motherfucker. Fuck you mean apparently, nigga? Apparently we know what the fuck you is, nigga. Dim sum chewing motherfucker. Fuck is you talking about? How about the we speaking on shit you don't know about, brother? Little dude. Y'all motherfuckers be little dudes. Tallest nigga in y'all country, 5'4". Y'all mean, I don't know. Y'all motherfuckers made him in a lab somewhere. Y'all motherfuckers with that last name, y'all little everywhere. That's why y'all bitches don't like y'all. That's why I got one of y'all bitches in my crib right now. Y'all don't do shit right. Be speaking on shit you don't know about, nigga. And your name Matthew. You a sucker, nigga. I don't understand why you offended. I don't understand, Hero. You Puerto Rican? You Puerto Rican? Apparently, he Puerto Rican. Fuck out of here, nigga. He said you lame. He mad as shit. You lame. You so lame. I'm just fucking with you, Matthew. Don't get mad, bro. Oh man. Shrimp why? Why you yo? This ain't got nothing to do with Matthew Chang. It don't. Shout out to Matthew Chang. I'm just fucking with you, brother. But bro, Chinese women are some of the most aggressive people when they pick up that motherfucking phone, boy. I remember I used to call. Yo, Lamont, it don't, bro. I was just about to get to this. It don't matter what they make. It don't matter what they make. It's always 10 minutes. You can order the whole fucking menu. But let me tell you, it's the best Chinese restaurant in the hood. Everybody go there, right? She pick up, bro. I know that she not intentionally being rude, but she pick up the phone. She be like, "What do you want?" Well, bitch, some food. What the fuck you think I call you for to talk, bitch? What do you want? I'm like, yeah, can I get the general toast? Yeah. Well, what side? What side? I was like, all right, let me get a small. You want Sprite? You want Sprite? Coke? Okay. 10 minutes. I'm like, bitch, I just ordered like 5 things. And they never ready when the fuck you pull up anyway. They'll tell you at 10:50 to come get your food. You there at 11. They still not done. They be having that old ass candy set. So what they do is cash only. And they got this motherfucking ATM that got a $25 withdrawal fee and shit. I'm like, oh my God, them motherfuckers be finessing you in that joint. So you give them cash, they give you like $1 back. You don't want the motherfucking dollar. So you start looking at the candies and shit. I'm like, yo, Chino, let me get some lemon heads. They throw the lemon heads at you. They don't never hand it to you. They always throw it. Throw the motherfucking shit. Lemon heads old to the motherfucker. They stuck to the box. I'm like, yo, these motherfuckers right here, boy. And it's always the man that's cooking, and there's always the woman that's yelling at them. Niggas be like, hey, that why he be like, hey. Like, did he going out? Yo, she be cursing him out. Niggas just be sitting there cooking like, hey, mommy. Be snapping. And it always be the Chinese girls, bro. They be having the deepest voices. You want shrimp fried white? General Toast chicken, shrimp fried white? Shrimp fried white? 10.50 bite. 10 minutes. Just hang up on you. They don't say bye or nothing. All you just hear is the phone smack the counter. Whoosh. Boop, boop, boop. I feel sorry for your mother. And they beat the shit out their kids. Yo, Terrence, you not lying. Because I'm going to tell you this. I grew up across the street from a Chinese store. And the little young boy name was Ricky. That nigga hairline was always fucked up, riding a scooter with some thong sandals. Bro, that little nigga never listened. Mind you, he was the only Asian nigga, right? Because they lived on the top floor. So they Chinese store was at the bottom. They lived on the top floor. So he used to go to the public school that we all went to, bro. Everybody fucked with Ricky because they knew if they was his friend that he'll get him like free candy and shit. But yo, when he used to like give away stuff at the Chinese store, bro, his mom used to beat the dog shit out of him with one of them Old Navy flip-flops, bro. Blop, 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 smack him all upside his head. Nigga run inside the store, holding the back of his head and shit. Young boy never cried neither. He was like a cold gangster. Like, that little motherfucker Ricky used to do his homework outside. Nigga used to do his homework outside, be done. Yo. They used to cut his hair outside too, bro. Like, they had steps. So they had steps, and they used to cut his hair right on the steps. They ain't never lined this shit up neither. Motherfucker used to get a buzz cut, looking like G.I. Jane and shit. Matthew Chase said, we are taught to fear our mothers. Oh, shit. Shit, well, that motherfucker Ricky feared his mother, that's for sure. That nigga Papa San used to be ready to fuck him up, too. He was like, well, please don't call my Papa San. That nigga used to come outside and beat the dog shit. The dad I ain't never seen it. I'll take that back. Dad ain't never hit the young boy from what I saw. But the mom used to put hands and feet on young boy. Nigga used to run inside. She used to be punching the nigga while he was going inside. She used to follow him up the steps. Hitting that nigga with some 1-2s on some Bivol shit. All straight shit. Just running in the crib. Saying some shit in their language. Definitely cursing him out. Because one thing is, you don't understand their language, but you feel their energy. And when they angry, you know. Shit. Shout out to my boy Lorenzo with the $2 super chat. He said demonetized. I was chilling until Chain came in here. But shout out to Matthew Chain. I'm just fucking with you, bro. You wasn't even on nothing. I was just... I need a joke about shit because life right now whooping my ass. Jay Cash with the $10 super chat. He said definitely demonetized. You said demonized. What the hell? Sheesh. I gotta be all that. Say no, I know you meant demonetized. Shout out to Jay Cash. Shit, my mom. Look. Ralph was like on some real shit. They take grades serious. One of my friends. His mom got pissed at him because he had an A-, not an A+. Shit, my mom used to be happy if I got anything outside of a C. My mom used to see a B. She was like, yo, good job, son. My dad used to be like, okay. Like, I remember that shit. If I got a B or an A, my mom was so happy. If she saw a C, she looked at me like, the fuck? I used to get a C in music class all the time because we used to bully our music teacher. Our music teacher used to cry in that joint. I'll never forget her name. Her name was Miss LaPoli. Miss LaPoli, she definitely older now. She got to be like in her mid to late 50s type joint. But she was a younger joint at the time because what I was like, this was like 4th, 5th grade. So we talking like, how old was I in 4th, 5th? Probably like 10 years old. So this like 15 years ago. So yeah, she probably was like in her 30s. Bro, we used to make, Miss LaPoli. She was like a skinny, tall white John with some short hair. Probably a little bit below her ears. For what I remember. If I see a picture of her, I'll remember. But that's how I envision her. And she used to have all the instruments and shit. We had like them plastic tubes that you could hit like against like a counter or something, and they all make different noises, or you could hit them against each other. Man, we used to throw them bitches, bro. We used to fight. We used to play like Star Wars with that joint. Yo, she couldn't control us, bro. And the music room was so big, bro, that there was like a wall. There's like classroom wall, and then there was another wall. There was like another room back here. We used to go back there when she wasn't looking and hide and shit. Yo, she used to be so bad. She used to sit there and cry, bro. She used to sit there and cry, and the principal would come over and yell at us and shit, send us to the office. We used to make Miss LaPoli cry, bro. And that was the only class I ever got to see in. And they're like, why you always got to see in music? I said, because that bitch don't know what she, like, trying to tell you. We had rest in peace to Miss Costello, man. She was a beautiful older black woman. She was our art teacher. Man, she used to straight up curse at us. She was, I don't give a shit. And the whole class be like, ooh, she cursing. Ooh. But whenever we was good, she always used to give us gummy bears and shit. I remember that. What? She had the loudest door in the whole class, in the whole second floor. When she closed that bitch, like, boom! That shit used to be so loud when it closed. It used to shut everybody up in the class. Like, what the fuck was that? It's like, stop talking. I ain't even doing it. I don't give a shit. Man, Miss Costello used to go the fuck off, bro. Real shit. Those was good times, bro. I used to be fighting all the time because I was a little fat young boy, and they used to think I was sweet. So I used to fuck them niggas up. I used to beat up a nigga named Roro every day at the school. A little dirty black young boy. He was a little dirty black young boy with some crooked glasses. Motherfucker always just try to pick on me. Fat ass. Fuck out of here, fat ass. He's like hit me and run and shit, and I wasn't fast enough to catch him. Nah, I'm gonna get you, nigga. I used to catch him at lunch all the time, punch him in the back of his head. Boom! I used to choke him. I used to fuck Roro up. He never beat me in a fight. Never. They used to try to jump me and all. I remember I told my mom, I said, Mom, they try to jump me. She was like, what? My mom was up in that school ready to get crazy with niggas. I used to beat the shit out of Roro. I remember I was fucking with this young boy named Ian. He had a cast. That nigga hit me with the cast right on the side of my head. Boop. I started teeing off on him. Bang, 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 bang. I bust his whole face open. Actually, me and my childhood best friend, Justin, we still best friends to this day. Me and him got cool because I punched a young boy in the mouth for throwing the milk on him. Me and Justin was cool at the time. His aunt and my mom was best friends, so we got cool because we used to see each other outside of school. There was this nigga named Damon. They used to fuck with my friend Justin. I'm like, leave my nigga alone. Because my boy Justin, he wasn't on that. He wasn't like that. But he like hit Justin with a milk and shit, bro. I came right across his shit. Bing! Cracked him. When he went down, I hit him again. Bing! Bing! Man, that motherfucker started crying, told on me. Had us in the counselor's office. He made us shake hands, sent us upstairs. And while we was going upstairs, I was like, yeah, nigga, you do it again, I'm gonna fuck you up, nigga. Yeah, I shook your hand to get out of trouble. Bet you I'll beat your ass again, though. I'll never forget his name. That nigga name was Damon Pittman. Hated that nigga. Punched him right across his shit. I'll never forget that. Beep. He dropped. I hit him again. Beep. Beep. Yeah. We be talking about that shit to this day. Nah, bro, they made us shake hands, right? Then they made us go up different stairwells so we won't fight again. So I went up through this joint, we went up through this joint, but we had the same homeroom, so we ended up meeting each other, getting into the classroom. And I told him, I was like, yeah, nigga, you do that shit again, I'm gonna fuck you up again, nigga. That nigga used to cry like, bitch ass. I still be seeing that nigga too. He's still with his mom. He's still on the same block he grew up on. I catch that nigga like because my boxing gym is in the neighborhood I grew up in. It's directly across the street from the school that I went to growing up. Fairhill Elementary. He lived like a couple blocks behind the joint. I be seeing that nigga like walking into the store and shit. I wonder if that nigga remember me. Yeah. I used to be fighting out there all the time. And I remember Roro had a cousin named Dyron. Dyron, that nigga was in the same grade as me, but this nigga hit puberty when he was like 9. So the nigga was like, he was like insanely strong for his age. And niggas trying to get Dyron to fight me. I was like, oh no, I had a cousin that was the same size as him that used to box. I'm like, nigga, I get Carlito to come fuck you up, nigga. I had a cousin from Puerto Rico who was like this amateur champion in Puerto Rico. He used to stay in Philly for a couple months out the year. I'll go get Carlito to fuck you up, nigga. I bring Carlito around. That nigga was like, oh, all right. Shit. I wasn't about to fight no Dyron, nigga. Nigga would have fucked me up. Shit. That nigga hit puberty when he was like 9, bro. Nigga had muscles. He was like 5'10" when we was all like 5'1" and shit. Like, nigga, I said, man, I'm gonna call my cousin Carlito, bro. Brought that nigga right back around the block. Yo, get pasó. Get it. I'm like, nigga, what's up? Like, we trying to room? No. Cousin was an amateur champion in Puerto Rico, bro. I was gonna have that nigga line him up. That's the thing, bro. Like in Puerto Rico, like Puerto Ricans, bro. Like, bro, I'm trying to tell you, that nigga was big as shit, bro. Like, we was in like 5th, 6th grade, and that nigga was tall, lanky, strong as shit. Like, he was, I don't know, he hit puberty real. He either failed a couple grades, he failed a couple times, he was just older than us, or he just hit puberty insanely early. Like, it was crazy. But the thing about me, I had boxers on both sides of my family, so it's just, I had my cousin Carlito. Then Edgardo was my uncle. He was an amateur boxer in Philly, trained out of Joe Frazier Gym. Then my dad trained out of Joe Frazier Gym. We got cousins from the islands that had over 100 fights and shit like that. Like, nigga, we all know how to do that. You tripping? Lee Jackson, what up? We just chopping it up at this point. Shit. I need it, though. Gotta keep my mind occupied, you heard? So funny, bro. At 11, I was 5'4", 5'5", by 14, I finally hit 6 feet. What's crazy was I was 5'7" all throughout high school. And then when I was in my 20s, I had a growth spurt. I said, what the fuck? I remember my shoes didn't fit no more. Like, my feet got big. I remember I was like a size 7. I grew to like a 9.5. No, I was like an 8. I grew to like a 9.5. I remember I had like breakouts and all that shit. And then I grew like 2 inches. What the fuck? And I remember my step pop used to measure us like on the corner of the wall, like right here. And he'd be like, he'll put the time, he'll put like the date and the month and the year. So like March of 2021. And like I clearly grew. That shit was crazy. I had a small growth spurt in my 20s. It was weird. And if you look at my license, it still say 5'7" because I got my license back when I was 16 and I never updated the height. Let me see. Let me block all this shit up. Y'all niggas be weird. Look. See how I say 5'7"? When I updated, when my shit expired, 2027. When it expired 2027, I'm gonna update the height. Bro, I had some LeBron 9s that I outgrew. I was heated. It was my favorite pair of LeBrons, too. They were so comfortable, bro. And I used to play ball all the time. Yeah, I'm a size 9.5 in sneakers. So if there's any sneaker plugs that want to sponsor Mazuma TV, I'm a 9.5. Trying to tell you, Dyron was like 5'10" at like 9 years old. Trying to tell you. I wonder what happened with him. That nigga always used to be fighting and shit. His name was Dyron McCray. I remember that shit. Oh shit, I came across him. I found him on Facebook. But this looked pretty old, so I don't know. Let me see something. I might have just ran into this nigga. Of course, this nigga's a rapper. Should have known. Yeah, that nigga was big as shit. That's crazy. Yeah, this is crazy running into these memories though. Damn. He said that nigga might be 7 feet now. He don't really look that tall. So he probably one of them niggas that got tall early and then just stopped growing. He probably like a little taller than me. That's what it looked like. Shit. Y'all got any questions in the chat before we get up out of here, man? Bullies, what up? What up? What up? What up? What up? My fault, y'all. We got caught up in some shit. I went through a whole rabbit hole. Niggas ain't really saying shit though, so I might as well just get to going. Plus it's 12. I gotta get up super early because of this dumbass job. Bullies, what's going on? What's going on? So we ain't talking about nothing else, man. All right, bet, man. We're going to get up out of here, man. I appreciate everybody that came through and showed love. As always, if I could go ahead and hit the like button on the way out, that'd be very much appreciated. We on the road to 4K. We well into the 3,200 mark, about to hit that 3,300 mark in due time. You feel what I mean? We trying to hit 4K by the end of the year, so we capable of doing so. That'd be very much appreciated. I'll be back at y'all with another live 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to continue cooking up on what's going on in the boxing world. Until then, I hope you guys have a blessed, beautiful one. I'm up out of here, man. Peace.